had it. It was an above-average ladder match. It didn't do anything offensive. The spots in it were great. I think the cast of characters that you have in there are great. Again, just jotting down reactions. When Del Rio came out, the first thing I thought was, man, Alberto Del Rio is really one of the best who have ever done this thing. I loved his character. And people who know me, I'm half Mexican, and I hate Mexican wrestlers, and I hate Rey Mysterio. I don't like Sin Cara. I can appreciate Eddie Guerrero for what he did and everything. I always hate the way that they write Mexican or Latin American characters, but for some reason, whatever it is, I'm completely okay with Del Rio coming out, riding around in freaking Lamborghinis, and that's not offensive to me. I don't know. I'm a bit of a contradiction myself, but I love the character. Again, and not knowing who was going to win that match, I was rooting for Del Rio as I was watching. I was like, man, I really hope Del Rio gets on here. I thought it was a great match. Great to see Kofi with the SOS and the boom drops. Jack Swagger was awesome. Love seeing him. I love seeing him in AEW now. I thought him pulling the ankle lock off of the ladder. Off of the ladder was such a cool little spot. Man, I hate Rey Mysterio. I really just do. It's not a popular opinion, but I thought for sure not. Yeah, I thought there was not a popular opinion at all.
I'm not making fun of it. I'm just saying, like, it's crazy because, like, I legit, like, it's so unpopular. I think you're the first person I've ever met that doesn't like Rey Mysterio.
Can't stand him. I don't. Yeah.
As a worker or character, or what? I guess what in particular?
I would just say as a character. There's just something about him that I've never, since I started watching wrestling, I just don't care for him. I kind of tune out when Rey Mysterio comes into a match. I appreciate what he does, and he's athletic. There's just something about his character that rubs me the wrong way, and it's not a personal slight. It's just I'm kind of bored by him, and it's really, really weird.
Do you just not like luchadors? Is that something you don't like?
No, I don't think that's it, because I do like luchadors. It's so weird, and it's something that I've had conversations with my friends. I can't explain it. I don't.
Have you ever met anyone? I just want to know have you ever met anyone that agrees with you about that?
Not one person. not a single soul.
Like, because Rey Mysterio is probably one of the most, like, in terms of, like, feelings about somebody, Rey Mysterio is probably one of the most well-beloved wrestlers ever.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I guess maybe one thing I could.
Opinions like that.
I guess maybe one thing I could say is, as far as Rey goes, I mean, for me as a kid, kids love Rey Mysterio. Like he's one of their favorites. Like I was him for Halloween one year actually as a kid. Like I had the mask, I had the pants, I had the everything. So for me, that there was that, and then I think also I guess maybe the one thing he wasn't so strong as far as a competitor. I think actually, as far as his talents, like he's still able to really maintain that to this day. Like he really hasn't in a lot of ways lost a step. I guess maybe the one flaw he had was he wasn't like a talker.
Yeah, but with him, he didn't really need to be just because of how he is the perfect underdog,
and he could never be a heel.
Okay,
so God.
As we're talking, as I'm listening to this, I'm starting to put together what it is, and I guess maybe it is the fact that he's not much of a talker, but he always seems to find himself in these matches that maybe I feel for whatever reason that he doesn't deserve to be in. Like he's always in the heavyweight picture, and I'm like, this dude is so small. It seems unrealistic to me.
I think the reason he's in there though is because he moves a lot of merch and he's popular. I mean, that's the reason he's in there.
And maybe that's why I don't like him. Is like, man, like I'm a terrible person. When Brock Lesnar was beating him up earlier this year, and Dominic was getting involved, and Dominic was catching F5s, I was living for it. I was rewinding it and watching it again because I just loved that Rey Mysterio felt this way watching his son get F5. But
like Paul Heyman.
Well, nothing beats a Brock Savage beatdown. So
that's
true. Except for the Randy Orton one.
Oh, that's true. I loved that spot at the end of the match. Everybody had a ladder. Everybody was at the top of the ladders, and it was just a free-for-all. And you had no idea what was happening. It seemed so dangerous and so ill-advised, and I loved it. I loved seeing The Miz come darting out of the back and the pop.
That was so funny.
The pop.
Oh, my God.
Oh, God, that was great.
When he came running back down there, it was like Paul Pierce in the NBA Finals when he came back from getting hurt. Just the crowd went nuts, and ultimately it didn't mean anything. But yeah, it was a very good match.
It was. I'll say this though. Did you notice the ending was kind of scary with the way Ray and Alberto fell from the two ladders?
Oh yeah, because he took the mask off, and then Ray fell the wrong way, and he knocked the ladder over.
Ray was falling the wrong way, and I was like, "Oh, somebody could get really hurt there in that situation if you're not careful."
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then Alberto won. Was there anyone else in this match that could have won?
Not really, I don't think, because The Miz won it the year before at Money in the Bank, and Jack Swagger had already been a previous winner of Money in the Bank. So really, Del Rio was really the only guy that could have won.
As much as I love Kofi and like Evan Bourne, they're not going to win Money in the Bank.
They weren't going to win that match.
And Alex Riley did come off of defeating The Miz at the previous pay-per-view, a Capital Punishment.
Nobody cared.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, that's sad because I think Alex Riley was somebody that at some point in time they had to think that he had some kind of future and whatnot, because he did beat The Miz like clean on pay-per-view. And I mean, The Miz one day will be a Hall of Famer as well, but it's just, I don't know. It's just like something didn't work with that guy.
Sure, I just think it was you just get some situation where fans just don't care, and it sucks. But like sometimes, like I said, sometimes you can be good, you can be a good wrestler, but you just don't have that factor, that it factor that makes the fans care about you.
Mm-hmm.
So you just don't have that.
So across the board, I think we all went 3.5 on this one.
Yeah.
So Alberto Del Rio would win 15 minutes, 54 seconds, so definitely shorter than the original, or I should say previous Money in the Bank ladder match. So then next, it would be time for the World Heavyweight Championship match between Orton and Christian. They show the video package for that, but before the entrances and everything else, we'd have Josh Matthews again, and this time interviewing Alberto Del Rio. Josh Matthews would start by congratulating Del Rio on him winning such a brutal match, and he'd ask how it felt to be Mr. Money in the Bank. Del Rio would say that he doesn't even know why he was in the Money in the Bank match, and he was the number one contender. He was referring to that because, or what he was referring to, I should say, is he had won a number one contenders match to challenge Cena for the WWE title because they were running the suspension angle deal with Punk. So the match was off at the time, so then Del Rio was going to be the one to replace Punk to face Cena. But then when the suspension got lifted, this is, of course, in kayfabe terms, once the suspension was lifted, that put Punk back being in the match against Cena. So he was saying that he should have been number one contender all along. And he would also say that Matthews would ask him, was it his destiny to win the Money in the Bank match? Berto would say that it wasn't his destiny, but it was a formality, and that his destiny is to be the new WWE champion. So that was fine. So then we'd have the World Heavyweight Championship match. It'd be Randy Orton defending against Christian.
Can I say something about this match? I forgot, and watching old promos, I remember now, how much I hated this Christian. Not like he was a bad wrestler. Like, the character, everything. Like, the heel, he did his job. He pissed me off.
There you go.
Because, he kept doing one more match. And I'm like, oh my God, just go away. Do you remember the SmackDown? The SmackDown where CM Punk came out?
Oh, yeah.
And Christian wanted one more match. And Punk hit him with you need to stop bitching and bitching and bitching and bitching and bitching. And then Christian went, hey, and bitching.
Oh, yeah.
That was great. I just thought that Christian did a really good job as a heel here. Like, I hated him. But I was also 11 years old at the time. But the other thing is about this match, I am usually never a fan of stipulations like this.
Uh-huh.
But I actually didn't mind it for this match.
Yeah, I agree. I thought that, as I said, I usually don't like those little added tips too, because it's like, well, in every other title match, I mean, there's a champion's advantage or whatever. But in this particular case, it worked because there was the controversial finish to the match at the last month's pay-per-view at the time, in Capital Punishment, where he got pinned and his foot was underneath the rope and the ref missed it, so he didn't want any shenanigans. So, so then they added that step.
Makes sense.
And you knew it was going to come into play once it was put in there.
Yeah, especially the way they talked about it. I did not expect. I thought it was going to be kind of like a low-key thing. Mm-hmm. I didn't expect Randy to straight up just kick him in the nuts. But like right in front of the ref, which was funny. But I actually thought this was a really good match. Let me tell you, man, as much crap as he gets and stuff he gets for working slow and methodical, when Randy wants to put on a good match, he's really freaking good.
Well, when he wants to, I mean, he's great, yeah.
Yeah. I saw some moves in this match that I wish he would do now.
Yeah, that one neck breaker thing he did where he had him lifted up on his shoulders and then he had him pressed there and then he just dropped him back for the neck breaker. And
yes. I'm glad you guys brought that up because I have that one written down too because that is – let's see more of that.
Exactly, yeah. I want him to still do that move.
I know. And then there was like the jackknife cover. Like he was pulling some tricks out in this one.
Yeah, and I actually thought, like I said, when Randy is in a feud that he cares about and he actually wants to put on a show, he's really good.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not many better.
That's what kind of, I think, frustrates people about him.
Yeah.
Is that he doesn't always want to put on a good show.
Or
I can see that for sure. I think I said it before, but I think that this 2011 was like prime peak Randy Orton, just physically, the promos he was cutting. This feud was great. And he wanted to work this promo for whatever reason. It had his eye, it had his ear, and he was ready to do it, and he gave it his all. So I can certainly...
Yeah, it was a great feud. In terms of physical look, this is probably the best Randy.
Oh, yeah, this is for sure the best physical. In terms of physical shape, this is definitely the best Randy Orton. I mean, he still maintained it to this day, so I give him credit. Well, that guy's an aged a day, but...
Yeah. The only thing
he still looks like $1 million.
He does. The only Randy I probably liked better than this is probably 09 Randy, when he was the heel. It was crazy.
Yeah, that's the Viper. Yeah, that's the Viper.
DDTing Stephanie and...
Oh, my God, that was so good.
Stuff like that. But this Randy, I thought this was actually a really good match. Now, obviously, you kept building and building to the DQ, which I really liked. And when Christian spit in his face,
that was disgusting. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Randy kept beating him up. I'm like, because I forgot how he got DQ'd. He was beating him up on, guess he's going to count. And then he just straight up kicked him in the nuts. And I was like, well, that's one way to do it.
Yeah.
Then after the match, I just want to say, after the match, Randy beat the living crap out of Christian.
Yeah, he beat the hell out of him.
Yeah, one of the things that I got written down too here is obviously Christian was more so in the tag team picture with him and Edge. He had a couple of intercontinental title reigns.
ECW,
right? Christian's a Hall of Famer. He really is.
I know.
I'm so upset he's not in the Hall of Fame.
How he's not there yet, I'll never get it. He did his job, like you said, just making us absolutely hate him and be annoyed by him and almost relish in the fact that he was taking that beat down outside of the ring.
I was so into it, especially back then when he was getting RKO'd on the table. I was like, do it again, Randy. Do it again. I told Cameron this. After Randy hit him with the second one and he walked back up the ramp and to the back, I wanted him to run out from the back again and RKO him a third time.
Yeah, sprint out there.
I thought that would have been hilarious. Obviously, they didn't do it. But overall, I actually thought, and obviously this was not the end of this feud. But
they'd have.
This was probably the second best feud of that year.
Oh yeah, I was hoping to get to that point and say that as well. Yeah, I enjoyed this feud a lot, and it was also, as noted, I think I said it earlier.